Have you guys ever noticed that social media gap is widening? It seems like there's just the haves and the have-nots, and the middle class is deteriorating. Well, what if I told you that there is a way to monetize even if you have a small following, or even if you're in the middle class learning how to get to the haves? I got Neel on the show today to talk about just that. What's up, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
I got my bald co-host, Brian Davila. What's up?
There we go.
You call him the bald co-host.
I know.
Yeah.
That's my name, the bald guy.
It's the bald guy. He was in the lower class, but now he's ascending up to
he's in the middle, and now we're getting into
because he has a thing. Yep. He's the bald guy.
So this is the perfect thing. Like, it's a power curve now. You notice? Used to be a bell curve. So there'd be like a bunch of people in the middle making a good amount of money, bunch of people on social getting views. And then what happened is the average person started getting punished, right? You see, the average content creator, he says, the algorithm sucks. The average real estate agent's like, man, the market sucks. But then I'll talk to somebody else who's like, dude, I'm crushing it. I'm blowing up. I'm making money. So it's a small group of people that are doing the majority of the business. In my industry, real estate, mortgage, 10% of the people do 90% of the business.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 90-10. And I think it's going to get even worse next year. I think it's going to be like 5-95. And so it's just going to continue to move.
Getting more extreme.
Correct. And so I think people need to understand right now, you need to do things. You don't have to like become the most successful, but you have to do things to get out of that middle muck area, because that's the part that's dying.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. When we were teaching content creation and social media with Wealthy Creator, I would say it was the bell curve era. It was like, bro, everybody's like getting views and all this stuff. And I just noticed over time, it was like getting progressively harder. And I didn't notice for them. I noticed for myself. I'm like, okay, so if I'm struggling with this and like I got a full-time team, I'm already pretty well known, what's everyone else going to deal with?
Yeah.
And then sure enough, that gap has continued to just widen and widen and get harder.
But the cool, so that's the negative part. But the cool part is the opportunities for the people in the haves, right?
Yeah.
Have never been greater. You get more rewards. You don't have to have a bunch of followers of subscribers to participate in this. You just have to be respected. And I think it's just a misnomer. People think you need a big audience. Well, most of the content you see on social or on YouTube is from people you don't follow.
Yeah.
It's just content you'd be interested in. So you just need to make interesting content for your ideal customer or audience, and then you'll win. You know, and then obviously you got to make offers. We could talk about monetization, but I think people are they're playing the game. They're playing a 2022 game.
Yep.
It's 2026. The game has changed.
Yeah.
But real question. So they call me receipts on here.
Yeah.
How much have you made in the last 12 months in education?
In our education events consulting, that business, we did $4 million top line.
That's a lot.
And how many YouTube subscribers do you have?
About 30,000.
So 30,000 to make 4 million. Like, so 30,000 objectively is not like a ton.
No, but it's the right people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's like, somebody could have 10,000 followers and be making $1 million.
Bro, I talk to people with 1 million subscribers on YouTube that don't make the money.
Yeah.
But they do brand deals, and they do other way. They wear a certain hat in the episode.
Yeah.
You have a beer right here, you know, and that's how you make your money. But I think people just get it twisted. You don't need, if your audience is people, if you're in a high margin business like I am, like if you sell anything that's expensive and every customer is meaningful to you, then you don't need a huge audience to make money on social. Same thing on Instagram. I probably get one viral video every 30.
Yeah.
My other videos are just average. Someone might be like, dude, your IG's like average. I'm like, well, dude, I'm doing well, you know? So I think it's just a matter of being consistent, obviously.
Yeah.
But then also speaking to the right people, you know, because anybody could pop on here and be like, here are 7 tips for XYZ. But those aren't the people who are respected anymore. I think those people, that's just like, that's ChatGPT now.
You know what I've realized too? You and I were talking about this with golf creators, because him and I are really into golf. And this was before I started M19 probably. And he's like, how much do you think these golf creators make? I was like, I really don't think they make much. Like, I don't think they think what you think they make. And I was like, if I had to guess, the top of the top might make 1 to 2 million. And I'm not saying that's little money, but I'm saying like these guys got millions of followers. That's like, in my opinion, little money for the amount of eyeballs and attention that
when you talk about golf creators, which golf creators do you watch, or have you watched a golf creator that has maybe taught you something new? Like, those are people you respect?
No, I watch these entertainers more so.
Oh, you watch more entertainment. No, but like when you were coming up. Because I remember when you were trying to learn the game.
Yeah, I would watch golf like instructors and stuff like
Rick
that.
Shields. Shout out to him.
Yep.
And so there's just so many people who teach the thing. But then I think now it's like somebody who's going to give you the tweak. And it doesn't have to be something totally different. A lot of them are teaching the same things,
Yeah.
but maybe his way of doing it is a little different. I've seen this guy.
Well, I think most of the big golf creators are just entertainers. They're not even teaching. They're just like, we're playing this course. Here's the game. We're doing a match. Like it's very much just like entertainment.
Fun. Yeah. And that's the other problem too, is information has become boring. Information has become commoditized. So when AI came out, and now everybody's on AI, you know, for the most part, in terms of basic ChatGPT users. My mom's on ChatGPT, you know, so like the average person is now coming aware that they can type in and get the information they need. So then that is taking some viewership away from the platforms where people would go to YouTube to ask, how do I do this? What are the 7? Like you can just get it on chat, so you don't need it on YouTube
and have like feedback and dialogue.
Yeah, so it's just those basic informational videos are being replaced. So then I think the content strategy has to be things that AI can't do.
Yeah,
which is your personality, like you said, entertainment. ChatGPT is not going to entertain you, bro. Like if you can do it, we'll see what happens.
I think they will
next. Maybe that comes up. Maybe video in the future, but for now, there's human elements that can't be replaced. Human connection that can't be replaced. And those are the things you can lean into.
Yeah. And that's what I was telling him too. So then, you know, we've been watching these golf creators and they're cool. And I'm friends with some of them too. And they've actually confirmed my thoughts, which I was showing him. But then, you know, as M19 started and just took off, I was like, bro, I might be like the highest paid golf creator, right? Just based on like what's actually happening now.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I have no golf following. Like people
like 400 views.
I got like 400 views a video on YouTube. 1,000 on my most recent. Okay.
Oh, dang. Good.
We got 1,000 on the most recent, right?
Because you combined business with golf. So think about this. If anybody's watching and listening, like this would be the tip for you to take away is how can you combine two things that are different? Right? That you would, it's this contrast.
Yeah.
Like you see Hormozy, gym bro, but also like kind of Ivy League business knowledge.
Speaks like a very intelligent
Those
person.
are things that you would not put together. That's contrast. So the biggest personal brands, the people that are getting the most attention right now have contrast. You wouldn't expect to get business growth advice on the golf course from Ryan, but that's what he's doing.
That's a gem. That was a good.
Right? So this is the future. So like, what is your thing? And some people are like, my thing is skateboarding. Well, dude, maybe I know you can't teach while skateboarding, but you could definitely put the skateboards in the back. You could definitely have the hats, the merch. And so you should just start incorporating the thing that's totally different than what you're teaching into your content.
You know Case Real Estate?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the skateboarder.
Bro, that guy does, he's in the top 2 or 3 agents in Orange County.
Yeah.
This guy makes, I mean, he makes a lot of money, bro. I would guess he's making $5 million more or more per year and for the past decade. So he's crushing.
You know,
but he puts the skating in the content. You know, this is what he does. Every client, when they close his firm, Case Real Estate, they give you a skateboard, a deck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And even if the people don't skate, like it's just a nice thing to put on the wall. Like, you know what I mean?
Closed.
Yeah, case closed. So these are just creative ways for the average person to
we need to get him on. I remember he DM'd me now that I'm looking back at it.
Yeah, dude, he's a great guest. He spoke at my event. He crushed.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get him on. I'm a
Kevin, if you're watching, bro, come on the show.
Okay.
It's funny too, because I kind of make fun of Ryan, but I'm like, dude, you only get 1,000 views, but the business makes about $1,000 a view. A month.
You just have to optimize.
The CPMs are crazy.
Yeah, but So, anyways, but we say it jokingly, but it's like,
but serious.
I don't have a big following on golf, and it's just murdering it because it's the right people watching.
Yeah,
and
like for context, you did like how much so far this year?
Millions.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, not millions. Sorry.
This year, only 3 months in, bro.
No. Not.
You made a lot. Watch.
Oh,
but 7 figures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. So
we've done millions since launch.
Yeah.
But kind of my point is that if you have a good idea, to your point, very contrasting. Like another thing, when him and I were golfing, there was this guy who kept popping up on my feed. His name was like Malibu Max. Do you see him?
No.
Oh, he's a fitness guy because I have my fitness company too. So I like only see golf and fitness. But he got in like this controversy because he lied about like getting an IED. He was in the military and stuff. But anyways, like super cool dude. Everybody's like, we don't care. He's cool. But his vibe and his look and everything are so different than the typical gym bro. He's like a Cali guy, just like surfboard type guy, just lifting weights. And he looks unique. Like everything about him's just different. And he'll just do a basic video being at Costco. And he's like, bro, I'm making some avocado toast, and I got some avocados. Then I bought some tomatoes. Here's the bread. And that's the video. That's literally it. And it got like 5 million views.
Right.
And I'm like, but you know, if somebody else makes that video, it's just nothing.
Yeah, I think it's like he built his brand on that. People got to know him, but he definitely leaned into who he is.
Yeah.
And so that
I love it.
It's going to take time, but it would take time for anybody to do this, but that would be the thing.
Yeah.
And you'd rather have a small audience that cares than a big audience that doesn't do shit.
Well, he has a large audience that cares.
Yeah,
even
but
when
he got it all.
he got caught lying, and people are just like, we don't give a crap. I don't care either.
But I bet if we look back at his oldest content, like he's probably been doing the same thing for years, right?
Yeah.
Many, many years. And then it just grew.
It finally popped.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know his whole history. He just started popping up for me. But yeah, I think when we used to teach it heavily, I would always say, you can't compete with unique.
Yeah.
You are unique in your own different way. And so it's like, for me, if I'm going to talk about Christianity, and I'm going to talk about playing pro baseball, and I'm going to talk about real estate, I'm going to talk about, now golf and whatever, it's like, that's just all the things that I am and what I like talking about. And some people like it, some people don't. It's all good.
Yes. And then you'll find your tribe as well, but then you'll also find some people, like you said, don't agree.
Yeah.
But I just did this thing with Tom Ferry yesterday, and I was asking him how he got to where he's at, because he's the #1 real estate coach, and he's built this huge business. I don't even know what he does revenue. He wouldn't even tell me, which means it's probably a lot,
Yeah.
But he basically said the way he got to where he's at is by just blinders on and not really listening to the haters, because a lot of people have come for him.
Oh yeah, he gets hated on all.
He gets hated all the time because he never sold a home, but he coaches real estate. But
I would hate on that too.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't know he never sold a home.
But he's really good at coaching, and he's built the best coaching business. So like people talk shit about it, but
we sell like 4.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like that was the knock, and then a lot of people there's just haters everywhere.
No, yeah.
They just hate on everybody.
Talk about like beating limiting beliefs. Imagine being the biggest coach, but have never sold.
But his dad was the coach, and then he grew up in the business, and then he got the confidence and courage to do his own thing. So like, kudos to him, bro.
Yeah.
He crushed it.
100%.
And he built it. It's not just him. These hundreds of coaches in his company.
And I'll say too, we were doing our last M19 trip, and we were talking about creating offers and stuff. And we have a couple of lawyers in the group. And I was like, hey, have you guys ever heard of my friend? His name's Bill. He's got this big lawyer, education company.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, everyone knows who he is. And it's like, they're big. And I go, he's not even a lawyer. He's never done a case in his life. He's literally a digital marketer who just taught lawyers how to market and everything else. And so he is an expert on digital marketing and getting lawyers leads. He's just not a lawyer.
Honestly, this is the old way of thinking. You think you need to learn from the successful people in your industry. That's true. You can definitely learn from them. But I've learned the most from people outside the industry.
For sure. I agree.
You learn from people who are good marketers. If somebody's good at getting attention, and you apply it to yours. So what you have to do is like, you have to think about how could you take something exciting and apply it to your boring thing. So think about, like if you're funny and you go to LA right now and you want to be on Hollywood, you want to be movies or comedian on shows, you could spend the next decade or more waiting tables and never make it. But if you're just slightly funny and you come to our world and you do content and you put your jokes into your content, you could be the most known creator in mortgage or real estate or insurance. There's a guy in my group, he's slightly funny.
He's slightly funny.
Bro, dude, he's funny to me, but like he's not going to start a comedy
he's not Kevin
tour.
Hart.
Yeah, exactly. He's not Kevin Hart, but bro, he's crushing in insurance because he puts the jokes into his content.
That kid, Julian?
Yeah, that Julian kid?
No, it's Nick.
Sorelli?
But he's great. Dude, he's crushing right
Nick.
now.
I've met him.
Yeah, he's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Super nice guy, but he's started a community that helps insurance creators create content. Plus his agency is doing well.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be one of the up and coming guys blowing up on social media.
Said that, like, dude, you're like mildly funny. You're like
funny.
Tabasco.
But that's the whole point. Is you don't have to be great to get the benefits. Is the whole point. That was what you started the show with today. Was like, bro, if you got a little bit of talent.
Yeah. If you were only a comedian, bro, you better be like next level.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a comedian realtor, the bar's not very high.
Correct.
There's 3 of them.
And if you're a CPA, bro,
oh, you could be the comedian.
You're crushing.
There's a guy. There's a lawyer.
Matt is like the funniest. And he's not funny at all.
Dude, there's a lawyer right now who is blowing up on social, but because he raps.
Oh yeah, that's
really?
great.
Yeah, bro, he raps
There's that
and he
realtor
dances.
guy who raps. He's a pretty good rapper.
Yeah.
But he ain't going to be in
No, he's not going to make it.
NWA.
He's not going to make it. No, but he will make it in real estate if he wants to.
He'll crush it.
Yes.
Rapping in real estate.
So what's your thing? Put it in your content. What's your interest? Put it in your content. That would be the way. And then you need to just do it and stick with it. Because I think that's the part is people, we were just talking about with Justin right before you guys got here. Most people quit doing this when the excitement wears off.
Yeah.
You know, when did the excitement wear off for guys like us? Bro, a long time ago. I was pumped.
Yeah.
I still get excited.
They're like, you're seeing Neel today. I'm like, cool, man.
Yeah. But back in the day, we'd be like, dude, let's go. And it's not to say we're not into it, but there was a level of like hype that just faded.
Yeah.
And that's for any time you start something new, you're going to have this hype. Now, are you willing to do it for a few more years and then see it through? That's the problem. Most people are just not.
Were you excited when, like, were you any different level of excitement when Grant was here like a month ago?
Not more than the first time. The first time I was like nervous.
That was
like,
cool.
Oh man, this.
But I
is
remember
scary.
like the first time you got him was probably big time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I was like, hey, Grant's coming. It's like, all right, cool. Like, let's
it's just tolerance. It's like drugs, bro. You know, the more you take them, then you got to take more to get the same high. But here's the thing. You have to, this is a terrible analogy. Actually, you shouldn't use drugs. But what I'm telling you is like, you have to stick with it when it's not fun, when it's boring, and just keep putting it out. And that's what's actually going to win. What'll happen is, as you get more success with it, that's what gets you re-excited. So now when we do get a banger video or we do blow out a new offer, that gets me hyped still.
Yeah.
But what about, okay, I'll play the other side. What about if people are posting content and they're not getting the views they want?
Well, that's what we talked about. It's not like first and foremost. I think there's people who tell you be consistent.
Yes.
But what if you're consistently bad? Right?
Just keep being
just be bad. No, so that is not the advice. What you want to do is like, okay, let's look back at the 10 videos. Or I guess if you have 10 videos, there's going to be one or two that did slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
So you would look at what is different about those, maybe the way it delivered, what was the topic. There's got to be some evidence, and then how can we make it better? If you're not iterating, it's just you're just consistently bad. So I think that's the part where people are like, dude, I'm not getting anything. Well, I'm like, did you even watch back your videos? Like, I remember I wanted to get better at speaking. I was like, dude, I suck at speaking. I want to get better. I would do a talk that kind of sucked. I would watch it back. It's cringe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I kept doing this and ah thing. I need to do this. I lost people right here. I hired a coach. Then I got better, and then it worked.
Bro,
But
this is what I keep telling Brian DeVilla about his golf swing.
Yes.
He just
Get a
is
coach. I
just
consistently
refuse to get a
bad, and he
coach.
just keeps doing it.
But then what if
I've
you don't make
broken
it,
like 80 windows.
but if you don't make it, if you're not going to make a change,
I know.
then
He
like,
keeps playing.
I do it for the love of the game, Neil. Okay, let's
that-
talk about content. I don't want to talk about my golf.
but that it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
it's like, dude, do you want to get better at this?
I know.
I do.
And then every time he gets mad at himself on the course, I'm like, you have no right to be mad.
Yeah.
You suck and you change nothing. Hey, if you're looking to get started in real estate investing, then you need to use our Cashflow 2.0 system. We give you all the motivated seller leads. We give you software, one-on-one coaching, and everything you need to start your real estate investing business. And we've seen so much success from our students with this system that we are willing to guarantee it. So if you want to learn how it all works and how you can get your first real estate deal today, go on over to wealthyinvestor.com and apply. Someone from our team will get with you, and you could have your first deal within a week once you get on this system. So head on over to wealthyinvestor.com and we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But-
you would need to be like tonight doing that, you know,
I need to
the
watch
exercise
Rick
in
Shield.
front of, doing stuff in the mirror, you know, you're working.
It's a cool mentor, coach. Rick Shields is not your mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, so someone's not getting views. You're saying watch their last 10 videos to get better.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, I think step one is you got to actually make content, right?
Yeah.
To have
Yeah.
data to know what
To look
worked
what's
and what
working.
didn't,
Yeah.
right? And then to Neil's point, okay, cool. Like this 1 out of 10 actually produced. Let's make more of that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? So you start making more of what actually works. And then, I always tell people, even at Wealthy Investor, it's like the more reps you get, the better you get. So it's like the more videos you make, you will like learn to speak better at a very minimum. You will learn like what works because you have data. But then also too, it's like it's a combination of skill and strategy. Because the strategy part is, okay, they were really only interested in the one.
Mhm.
So like, let's just strategically keep making. Like I remember first time I ever got 1 million view videos on TikTok in 2020. And I was so hyped because it actually happened on my birthday. And you know what the video was?
A watch.
Flipping couches.
Oh, really?
Yep. So
But you made a lot more videos by flipping couch.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because dude, I was sitting there in my house. I was like, man, what am I going to make a video about today? Like, I'm trying to figure out this TikTok thing. And I was like, that couch flipping thing I used to do, like, I think it probably could help somebody. So I'm like, yeah, so here's what I used to do to make $10,000 a month. By the way, that seems normal today. Like, hey, here's how to make $10,000 a month. Not normal at all in 2020. And I didn't know I was doing a hook. Nobody taught me that hooks were a thing. I was just like, yeah, so here's how I made $10,000 a month like 5 years ago or whatever it was. And I was like, so, I flip a couch, I do this. It got 1 million views in like 24 hours.
Wow.
It was nuts. And I was like, wow, let me like make a follow-up video. Make a follow-up video, gets hundreds of thousands. I was like, I gotta have to make a YouTube video about this.
Yeah.
I make the YouTube video. It is still my highest viewed video to this day.
Damn. Yeah, because so success leaves clues.
Yeah.
You got something successful, you need to just keep hitting it. And that's the problem is people have one outlier, then they go on to make something else.
Yeah.
Like the platform literally tells you, hey, go make more videos like this. Talk about this more. Because they want you to get more views too, because they want attention on the platform.
Yeah. And
so,
like I did make follow-up videos. And then once a year I would make like a new couch flipping video. But it was interesting because it then got me into, because I've done lots of side hustles and businesses. So I go, okay, here's another thing I did, guys. And it was some other random thing, and then crushes it. Like the side hustle culture, like that really popped me off the first couple of years.
So that helped. And then you think about, you'll find your thing, and then there'll be something else you talk about. So I think you have to find your thing first. Now, if you're like, dude, I have this topic I want to talk about, say you're a freaking CPA and you want tax tips, well, look at the tax tips videos or the CPAs or the creators who are blowing up with that content. You guys know Carlton?
Yep.
So Carlton blows up with this content.
Yep.
Look at his videos. Look at the other guys and the gals who are doing it, and then use validated content ideas. So it's not like ripping them off, but it's like, how could I make my version of Carlton's
I was
video?
just thinking, Carlton's he's in such a funny position because he's been on the show, and he was on my golf channel too. Brian, you're better than Carlton at golf. So, but Carlton makes, all these great content. He goes viral and everything else. Every other CPA's content is hating on Carlton's content.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude,
they're just helping him.
What?
They're just helping him.
Well, but I'm just like, I get where they're coming from. Like, they're like, oh, he's giving incorrect advice and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if I built my whole brand just clout chasing other people, I don't know. I think it's just loser behavior.
Yeah.
Like you just basically ride everyone else's coattails and like give a different, like it's a strategy that works, but in my opinion, then it just makes you like a hater.
It's a reaction guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reaction content. You can go viral with it.
You for sure can go viral.
But I don't know if it builds your brand.
Like I would rather people react to me and hate on me because that means like I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Then this is also like if those people who just do reaction content, when they want to sell something, I don't think there's many buyers.
You get all these skeptical buyers.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever you make hateful content, I tell this to people all the time, you attract what you put out. So it's like, bro, if I'm just always hating on people, guess what? I'm gonna attract haters.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, I agree. That guy's a freaking grifter. This guy's that. And it's
this is the thing.
Good luck selling to those people.
There's a guy in our community. He's a real estate guy. And so he's struggling with content. Then he starts talking negative about how you'll never be able to own a home. This is what the government wants. The middle class getting screwed.
Good luck selling homes.
Yeah. And he's kind of like real estate business took a dump, whatever. But his content blew up. And now anytime he's negative about how everybody's screwed and the government is screwing us and these Republicans and all politics stuff, he's just blowing up. But I think if you look at the comments and all the engagement, it's all people who are complaining.
Yeah.
They're not looking for opportunities. They're just talking crap all day long on social media. So if he ever wanted to do business with these people, they're not buyers of anything. They're not going to want to buy a house. They're not going to want to buy a program or anything like that.
There's this fitness guy, because I've been now, like I said, since we started All Pro CEO, I've been following all these fitness guys, just trying to like see who's in the game and what do they do and all this stuff. And it's funny because many fitness people online are fitness coaches to fitness coaches. Or sorry, they're coaches to fitness coaches. And which is all good because I'm a fitness owner now. So like their content actually helps me. But this guy, his name's Will, he's going to come on the show because I want to just really pick his brain. But like, they're doing like over 1 million a month. He shows receipts and like his content gets like no views and all this stuff. But I watch it and I'm like, I'm a high level guy. Like, I'm like, bro, like this guy, this is good stuff. And he sells a ton, even though he gets no views, no followers, because he's only going after high-end people who would like that content. And so you're always like, if you're making content, it's somewhat like you're always like, you'll get the outlier, like guys like Hormozy and stuff who can get the best of both worlds, both like a large amount of views and also quality people watching. But in most cases, if you're going to go for a lot of views, you're always just going to get low level people who watch, because that's just the majority of the world.
Yeah.
Like, they're consumers. They're not looking, they want entertaining kind of content. But then if you do what you're describing, where you're going after the right person, there's not that many of the right people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my M19 videos. It's like, there's 1,000 people who like this video where I'm showcasing a course, a mastermind, business conversations, whatever. But those dudes are making a ton of money and are looking exactly for that. So yeah, I'm not going to have 200,000 views on a golf course video like, these other golfers, but I'm good getting the 1,000 people.
Yeah. And it'll grow from there. And then it'll be the right people.
Yeah.
And so you can offer a program to, like you just did. And so think about who are the people you want to serve? What's the content, the problems you could solve for them? How could you make it more entertaining or different than everybody else who's doing it? And so I think that's the problem, Brian. It's people like, oh, I'm complaining. This isn't working. I'm not getting any views. Did you even do any pre-work? I think, like, do we sit down and strategize a little bit? It used to be, like you said, throw up a camera, throw up a video, and boom, you have one take off. It can be that simple for some people, but for most people, you're going to have to do some research now. It's not as
it's only
easy as it
simple
used
for
to be.
those people who've been doing this forever.
Yeah. That's the other mistake people make, is they look at creators who are crushing it and say, hey, that dude in Costco who sounds like he's high. I'm going to go get high and go to Costco, and then I'll go viral. But then, bro, it doesn't work for you because you didn't build this foundation. So I want to look back at, what did that dude do to get successful? Like, people like Gary Vee says this. Gary Vee could talk about 20 things now because he's Gary Vee. What did he talk about in the beginning? One thing. He talked about wine. Yeah. And so what is your thing going to be? And then how could you make it somewhat entertaining?
Yeah.
Got it.
So I remember when we first met, man, what was it? Probably 5 years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Crazy. 6 years ago. You were just starting your content journey.
Yeah.
You had emailed me and you're like, hey, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, ever since then, you've really crushed it. Like, what was your initial intention for why you wanted to start? Because you're just a mortgage guy doing your thing.
All I wanted to do is get more respect, get more customers for my mortgage business. And then what happened was, even with cringy content, I started to get more results. People started to respect me more. So then my business just started growing. And then what happened, as I got actually good at it, which took a couple years for me, I wasn't like naturally good. I was super not confident, all the things that people go through. But then as I started to get good, people from the industry were like, hey, could you come teach us? Could you show us what you're doing?
Yeah.
And could you be a guest on our show? Could you come speak to our group? And what I found was I got a lot of fulfillment from helping people in the group. Like, dude, it's kind of cool when someone's like, hey, I took your advice and I got this result. And they're like all pumped up. And you're like, dang, bro, that's awesome. So I started to just by accident get into education. I didn't want to be a guru or any of these things.
You're making 7 figures plus.
I was already doing really well. And I didn't need the business. It just happened to be like, I'm going to try this. And then I got more fulfillment from it. So then when I started to take more time to do education, events, coaching, my mortgage business income started to go down a bit, honestly. Yeah. So it was actually to my own detriment. Because, but I just had more fun teaching and speaking and doing these things. So it's a balance over the years, but like it just kind of shifted to, I get to do a lot more public facing content, speaking, all these things. We still have the mortgage business, but that's where my focus is now.
Yeah. So if we're currently in this point where back in 22, you had a middle class where, everybody could get views and all this stuff, to now it's very extreme. You've got this massive amount of people getting, literally, I saw the stat one time, 1% of creators get 99% of the views.
Yes.
That's the stat.
It's bad.
And so that means 99% of people are just consuming the content that the 1% make. And so it's like, well, if you're in the 1%, it's great. Everyone will know you. And, it's hard to break through the 1%, but I think also what we're saying is that though it may be hard to get into the 1%, you don't need to be in the 1% to make money.
You just need to be in the 10%.
Yeah.
And that's not that hard.
Yeah.
If you look at the top 10% of, just look at real estate, top 10% of real estate. Well, I believe something like half the industry didn't even do a deal.
I know.
Wow.
So that wiped out
50%.
So
and you'll have done a deal.
Do one deal and you already beat out half the industry. Do like 5, 10, 20 deals. Now you're in the top 10%.
You're in the top 10.
So you're good. Like it does, like that's the thing. The bar has never been lower. There's a lot of people trying things. but they're not that smart. They're not intentional. They don't work hard. I don't know what's going on in people's brains right now. Like, I think it's like I call it like a snow globe effect. Just like if you shake up a snow globe, there's just all this ash falling.
They're distracted.
Dude, nobody's focused on anything. This is the problem, I think, right now, why people struggle with everything, is nobody's doing one thing ever fully.
Yeah.
Right now, we're doing our phone. We're on this. Somebody's watching this right now. They also have their phone on. They're talking to their kid and their wife. And so nobody's ever fully locked in on something. So the key, if anybody wants to win, is just to take 2 hours a day and just lock in on one thing. Like, I have to put my phone in another room sometimes, shut the door, and do the deep work. Wow. And that's hard to, like, you would think, that's
what does deep work for you look like?
So I would need to write. I would need to come up with ideas, need to write the copy for this landing page or look at it. Look at a new talk I'm thinking about doing. How could I make this more engaging so that I could get invited back or get paid even more to be a speaker next year? Or like, what are my creative things that only I can do? Right. Because most of the time we're spending time doing shit that anybody could do.
Do you do that every day?
Not every day. I wish I could, but I will. I'll do it.
You don't have the discipline currently, or what do you think?
I need more people on our team because I do a lot of like busy work some days.
Oh, you still got to run the other aspects of your business.
Yeah. Or somebody's pulling me into a problem.
Right.
Or just distracted.
Right.
Like we're trying to launch more content. We're trying to do YouTube. We're trying to do Instagram. We're trying to do a podcast. Yeah. So there's like a lot of stuff, a lot of balls in the air. Events take up a lot of time.
I know.
That's a pain in the ass.
I get it.
So it's like, but yeah, deep work that you're really good at. We need to do more of that. And so I'm on a path to doing more of that.
Right.
Let's start to talk about monetization.
Yes.
They believe they can make money. They start making content. How do people start to make money?
So you need to think about this. This is the biggest mistake people make with content. If you look at a spectrum of people on the internet, there's a bunch of people who are just not open to what you're saying. A small group of people, I would say. These people are never going to watch your videos. They're not open to it. On the opposite side, there's a small sliver of people who are ready to buy whatever it is that you offer right now. So let's just say it's real estate. How many people on the internet are looking to buy a house right now? There's a small group of people, but the biggest group, the majority of the people on the internet are this middle part of the spectrum of people. These are people in the not yet crowd, I would say. They're not yet ready to watch your video, to learn your solution, buy whatever you're offering. And so you have to make content for the not yet group. You know what I mean? Because most people are making content for the ready now group, buy now. And that's just a sliver of the opportunity. And so if you make content for the not yet group, what'll happen is, like, when you make an offer, when you have a lead magnet, when you have a next step for people actually take it because they watch your stuff. So that I just think of, like, if you came up to me, bro, and you're like, hey, I want to buy a house right now. What do you think about the market? That would be a different conversation than if you came up to me and you were like, dude, so we're renting. I don't want to do anything for next couple of years, but like, what do I need to do to be on track in the next 2 years? I'm thinking about starting a family. Like, you're just on your journey versus ready to go now. It's a different conversation, and people's content is only talking to the people ready to buy now. In my industry anyway, that everyone is so transactional. So like, what could you do to make it more interesting to everybody on the internet?
Interesting.
So like, and that's make it more entertaining, more middle of funnel, top of funnel content, not bottom of funnel.
Got it.
What would you say, Ryan?
I was thinking it through as he was speaking. I've never, people, I know people have talked about, hey, like, this is top of funnel content, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and all these things. And I literally have never looked at content that way. I've always looked at content like this. In order to get a customer, you have to have trust.
Yeah.
The best way to build trust is to spend time. So my main objective is spend as much time as I can with somebody. Once that's done, at some point, we'll do business together, whenever it may be. And so whether they found spending 10 hours watching content that was top of funnel, middle of funnel, or close now, like, either way though, just build trust, give them value. And I think building trust, people misconceive or forget about this, but like, building trust isn't just constantly teaching them the method. It's like, bro, I get your method, man. Like, wholesaling's not rocket science here.
Yeah.
But it's building trust in, okay, I actually like that this guy, he's shown up week in and week out. He does not miss posting content. I can see the behind the scenes of his business. Okay, this guy's talking about his marriage and kids. Like, I relate to that. Oh, now he's got a pastor on the show. Like, okay, I did not know he was a Christian. Or, like, you start to represent different parts of yourself throughout other pieces of content. And like I tell realtors this all the time. It's like, bro, hate to break it to you, but being a realtor is a commodity. Okay. Y'all are the same. We all have access to Zillow. We all can pretty much figure out what a house is worth. Sure, you can negotiate better than the next guy, but overall, it's pretty commoditized if you really think about it. They're only going to go with you mainly because they vibe with you better. Like, that's really it. Like, I'm going to go with the guy that I relate to the most. And so, you know what? If you only make content that is like, just sold, 5 tips about Austin, this and that, it's like, all right, but I'm much more likely to do business with the realtor who is showing me their kids and their family and that they're even Christians or whatever. Because those are the things I personally value. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone values what I value, but like maybe someone else values, you know, being the party realtor and going out and like being single. And it's like, dude, they're probably going to pick a realtor who also is that vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's like, you really are just going to work with people that you really find like-mindedness with.
Yeah, I think it's incorporating your interests.
Yeah.
And what are your principles? So I think about 70-30. 70% could be the teaching, the tips, and doing it in a good way, not being boring, you know, trying to be level up there. But then 30% should be like all the things you stand for, personal content, different things. So that's like, I call it the 5 F's: food, faith, family, fitness. And then the women told me add fashion. So that'd be food, faith, family, fitness, fashion. Okay, well, what are you into? And you could replace one of the F's with whatever you're into, but maybe golf, you know, for you guys.
Yeah.
But like, think about this. You put your faith into your content in a major way for the last many years.
Yeah.
I know people do business with you because of it.
Yeah, for sure.
1,000%.
Yep.
Because you share their values.
Yep.
But there's also people I've seen who said, I don't like Ryan anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like his content. It's not for me. He's too much with that. I don't like the Christianity and the stuff.
Or he's fake faith.
Or so fine. Like, you have to be willing to be misunderstood by some people if you're going to have any level of success. Otherwise, you're just trying to blend in, which we already talked about is not going to work.
No.
That's that middle muck that you just lost in the sauce. So what are you willing to stand for? And are you okay with a few people disagreeing? Because right now, if they knew those things about you, the people who you are in your close circle, they already know these things. That's why they refer you right now. So we need to do the same thing on the internet. I think people are just scared to see that comment or to hear somebody judging them.
Well, you know what's interesting too is that the algorithms are getting so sophisticated that I personally have even noticed you get less and less haters.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, if it wasn't sophisticated, it's like, oh, bro, I do not like that. Because people were seeing things they didn't like. Now, your algorithm feeds you an echo chamber of only things you like.
Yeah, and it's confirmation.
Yeah, it's all just interest, confirmation, all these things, which, you know, it's like, okay, so if I talk about faith, just by default, Christians are going to see my content. And guess what? Liberals are not. They're just not. Because
you might catch a few here and there, but
like way less than before, because the algorithm knows it's going to turn them off and they might leave Instagram or whatever. So now I don't even have to deal with these people. Like we were talking about it with Sartain yesterday where, you know, he's like talking to these people. He's like, these people exist? I never have seen them in my life. And it's like, you just don't get served their content.
Well, that's why people are so set in their ways right now.
Right.
Because I'll talk to a liberal or a conservative, doesn't matter. And they're both very rigid because they're not even aware of the other argument.
Exactly.
Dude, like you'll talk to somebody and they're like, you know, I'm like, hey, maybe you voted a certain way because of immigration. So you'd be like, hey, you know, one of the things that's important to me is immigration policy here because I think it was a big problem before.
Yeah.
They're like, it wasn't a problem. I'm like, wait a second. You didn't think it was a problem before? The border was a major problem. It was all over the place. They didn't even see that.
They have no
idea.
idea.
Didn't see the news. They didn't see any of that stuff. And conversely, same thing on the other side. So like you said, people are in an echo chamber. If they see a piece of content they don't agree with, they just keep scrolling. They see one they agree with, they start watching it. The algorithm feeds them more of that content.
More of that.
Yeah. So it's just the way it works. So you'll find your tribe. But in order to be seen by those people, you do need to say things. And I think people think that that's going to get them a lot of hate. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't have to be controversial. I don't know what's controversial about your faith, you know, but like somebody could be like political content. Yes, that's very controversial. So if you want to go down that road, you probably will get some hate, but you don't have
Brian,
to.
My guy Brian here is a major Trump fan.
Yeah, I love Trump. Yeah, I get some hate for it, but I don't
do you
care.
wear like you should wear the red MAGA cap in one of the videos?
Then he can't be the bald guy
at home.
No, bring it.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah, here.
So you would just say like Ryan would start off the video and be like, "Yo, the bald guy's been replaced by the MAGA guy."
Yeah.
We got MAGA Bri.
We got MAGA Brian.
We end up getting Trump on the podcast.
But look at what happens. I bet you get more reach, more views, more people gonna know Brian. Yeah, you probably have some haters
I don't
too.
know. Trump does like trigger a lot of hate, like more hate than anyone else.
Bro, I'll just say something that the administration is doing that affects my consumers. I'll be like, hey, so the administration just rolled out this new program, and there's like Trump hate in the thing. I'm like, I didn't even say his name, and people are that triggered.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of pent up anger right now.
You know what we call those people, Neil? Yeah. Soft.
Yes.
What'd you got?
Okay, so let's talk about, to stay on the money.
Yes.
How does someone create an offer?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, first thing, and I don't know what you guys thought on this is, you tell me this. This is somebody in our community has been doing content to grow their business.
Right.
They're on their journey, but they haven't seen the results fully yet. They're not good at it yet.
There's a negative ROI.
Yes. They're on their way. They came up to me and they said, hey, Neil, I'm thinking about launching a coaching program.
Okay.
And they're like, I'm like, okay, well, what's it about? Like, I'm doing the thing. I said, here's my honest answer to this person. I said, look, I think you need to get good at the thing first. You don't have to be amazing and like crazy good, but you need to have the skill first. Prove that you got results first. Then I think you should help a few people in this community for free.
Yeah.
Just to prove that your stuff's work. Don't let somebody pay you and be the guinea pig. Do it for free. Like that's what I did. I would host free workshops, free class. Before I ever sold a ticket to an event, I did a bunch of free ones.
Yeah.
Like I never got paid to speak in the beginning. I did free speaking. Like you don't get paid for the thing. You should be practicing.
I held free meetups that led to WealthCon.
Yes. For years.
Yep. That's
what people don't notice. So they look, hey, well, how many tickets did you sell? Dude, you weren't there when I did this all free, lost money on the shit. You know what I mean? So that would be the first thing. I'm not trying to be like the guy who throws water on your thing, you know, and negative, but I'm just saying, you don't have to do this for years, but you should be proving that you're good at something, that you've got skills. I'll give you another example. Somebody in my community said, I'm really interested in AI. I love the automations. I love all this. Just a nerd. Loves it. Spends all her free time doing that. I'm like, cool, go deep on that. Become an expert. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to be perfect. She goes hard on it for like 6 months. Then she launched a program, a community, a paid community for people who want to do AI automations in their business. Bro, it's blowing up because she took that little bit of time. So I just think people are so rushing to get to success and the money that they're skipping the part that's the most valuable part, which is the learning. Like do that shit first. Then, and it doesn't have to be long. Could be 6 months. So I would say that's the first step is what are you good at? What have you proven before you launch an offer? Now, okay, you've got that thing. Cool. What are we going to offer? I think you should look at serving a lot of people for a little bit of money or few people for a lot of money, rather than trying to do the middle thing. I think the middle is hard right now.
Yeah.
Like if you're selling an average ticket to somebody, like I think people are, it's just hard to justify the value. So I'd rather be like expensive, but only for people who want this. Or this is actually really affordable and I can take hundreds of thousands of people.
Can you give examples of?
So let me give you an example. So let's say a community, paid community. We're going to do some work. Like there's a school community. You've seen a lot of these. Those are like $30 a month sometimes. You could maybe $500 a year, something inexpensive, but you could have hundreds of members. That would be cool.
By the way, I would never get into that business.
I wouldn't, but I know people do that.
Yeah.
SaaS
That's
product,
way harder in my opinion.
It is harder.
Way harder.
So, you know, like people like, well, one-on-one coaching could be an offer. Well, one-on-one doesn't scale. Well, I did one-on-one at one point. You did one-on-one.
Yeah.
It does. If you don't have, like, if you don't have a business
to do,
what else are you doing, bro?
You have 40 one-on-ones.
Yes.
1 hour a week.
Yeah. So what's the offer? The offer is like, okay, how about this? Guys, I've opened my calendar and, here's the video. Here's the offer. In the last couple of years, I've gone from A to B and I've learned a lot of things to do. I've also learned a lot of things not to do. And I've gotten these results. Now, not everyone's going to get the same results, but I've also helped a few people in the industry and I got a lot of fulfillment and they got similar results. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to help a few of you. I can take 5 people. I can take 6 people and it's going to be this much. And these are the dates I'm opening up. And if you want to grab one of those slots, here's the application. Bro, that's your offer and you'll make more money than if you try to do one of these communities or any of this other shit.
Do not try to do low ticket community. It's just, the churn's too crazy.
It sounds cool because you're like, all I have to do is set this up and then I have MRR. But you know, MRR is a dream for people.
It's just, there's very few things in the world that have like true MRR that's last years.
Well, you could, like you said, you can incorporate software as part of this subscription,
Right.
then that's sticky. You can include some sort of technology, AI tools, things like this. So there's all kinds of things you could do.
It's just like in the info world,
Info's
it
tough.
just does not, it's not a thing.
Information, like courses, dead.
Yeah.
Like courses are free. You have to think about this. The best creators are putting their best information on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
How are you going to compete with that as a course creator?
And with a chat.
Yeah.
So all these things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to play that game. Play a game that's they can't play. Those guys don't do one-on-one. You should do one-on-one to start. And also perfect it.
Here's what I'll say about one-on-one too that's interesting, because I've done it for 3 years now, but very few clients. But like, I have buddies who are doing over 7 figures a year that their entire week is full of all these one-on-ones. And they don't charge that much to be doing it. Like, and when I say that much, I guess I'm not saying that much. Like, it's still a lot of money, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But like, I'll talk to them like, so like, well, you want to go do this? Oh no, dude. Like, I got 8 one-on-ones today. I'm like, you have 8 one-on-ones today?
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're gonna be on Zoom for 8 hours, like straight? He's like, yeah, I do that every day. I'm like, you do 8 hours of Zoom every day, one-on-one with a new person. How do you keep track of freaking their problems? And
no, dude, my sister does it. She did it for 4 people a day, like in the afternoons, every day. And
I was shocked.
And she was like, it is hard, but she does them back to back, gets it out of the way.
I was
days a
just
week.
shocked, dude.
For $1 million, most people would do it.
No, I know.
Why not?
And that's why I was like, but that's my point. Like, it does scale.
Mm-hmm.
He's at $1 million.
And then you can figure out your group and your community and all the other things, and the partnerships and all that stuff.
I even have a buddy who, their business is over $1 million a month, and he takes sales calls. So his is basically the same. He's just taking sales calls back to back. He's a sales guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's just, because he closes better than everybody else. And so it's like, bro, if this guy can close hundreds of thousands a month in new business, and like, that's going to be what, it's like, it's not a bad thing of their time.
Yeah. And bro, this is what I would tell people to do is the other thing that is even better than one-on-one is a small group offer. I think that groups coaching is better than one-on-one sometimes. In many cases,
other people's stuff.
Because you get to hear the other people's perspective in the group. So I would do the same thing. Gotten these results. I've helped a few people. I'm launching a 10-person group. We're going to meet this week on this day every week. Here's the resources.
I think that's what PPD does.
Yeah, 10 people.
Yeah.
20, whatever you're going to do, small group. I'm at my very first offer, bro, the very first info education offer I ever did was called Neel's Content Day. It was 10 people. You get to come to my studio, hang out with me for a day and a half. We'll do content. I'll teach you I made a workbook. I'll teach you my whole thing. By the way, I wasn't big time influencer. I had 10,000 followers.
Wow.
On Instagram.
What'd you charge?
We charged $5,000.
$5K. Yeah.
For 10 people. That's $50K offer. Now, there's cost. We had meals. We had to host them in our office. I had to bring in some coaches, vendors, video guys. But that was my very first offer. And it did well because I was getting results and I showed proof. And then my thing was the first few I did were the first people I helped were free. So I could get the testimonials. I need dude, hit somebody up and being like, so if this is me, I'm just starting and I'm really good at one thing in marketing. I'd be like, I'll hit you up, Brian. I'd be like, hey, dude, I'm onto this thing. It's crushing for me. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you with this. I'm not going to charge you because I'm thinking about launching this in the future. All I would ask is if I crush it, will you give me a testimonial? You'd be like, dude, I got you. So now I get to make you a testimonial. Now, when I launch, I've got proof. I think this is the biggest thing missing from people's offer is there's no proof of concept.
Right.
You're just like, and it's a risk for the audience. So and I've seen people send people to a landing page for thousands of dollars and nobody buys.
Yeah.
Dude, get them on a call.
Yeah.
Get them on. Like that was one thing I learned from Ryan. And the very first time he coached me, he was like, stop sending people to the page.
Yeah.
Get them to DM you and get them on a call with your team or get them into the conversation in the DMs one-to-one.
Yep.
You can't close people one-to-many if you don't have a brand.
Yeah. It's hard. And closing people one-to-many is just hard, period.
Yes.
But it's funny because like you bought my very first small group offer that he's talking about. My first ever offer in real estate is 2018. I was like, hey, it's $3,000, 10 people at my office, all day event. I'm just going to teach you guys everything I know. And it was good. Yeah. It was like the first time I ever did anything like it.
And the thing is, you have to really focus on
following either.
Yeah. Making sure people are going to get a good result, get a good experience. Like I just do a few things different than my competitors and we win. So then that came into other bigger offers in the future. So I would just serve a small group of people and make it relative, like the amount you charge, if there's value there, should feel a little uncomfortable. I mean,
okay, yeah, we didn't go over specific numbers.
Yeah,
so you said don't do low ticket, don't do the $30. What price should people do?
So if you have proof and it works, then I think you should charge a bit more than what you think you should be. I would rather be the premium thing than the cheap thing. That's just my opinion. I think.
What's premium?
What's a number? Yeah, give us a number.
Okay, so like for that workshop, I remember I had a business coach at the time, and he's like, "What do you think you should charge for this?" I was like, $3K, $2K, something like that. And he's like, "Neel, like it should be more based on what you're going to be leaving with." We were building them a landing page, doing all this stuff, like making the videos. And he's like, "Dude, you'll leave with deliverables plus information plus all this time. Like, I think it should be more." And he's like, "You need to charge 5,000." I was like, "No, dude, that's going to be, who's going to buy that?" And I remember he's like, "Neel, think about this. If you had the opportunity when you were coming up to just sit down with someone in a small group and they were going to help you do all these things that were taking you months of trial and error, and he was just going to do it for you in 2 days, wouldn't that be worth 5K?
Yes.
Because you're going to get 100K ROI.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's a good trade. So then it just changed my mindset. So the pricing should be like based on the value. If there's a high ROI, it should be a reasonable, price. So I think about that offer. And then I remember getting people on the phone one-to-one. I said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Here's what it is. If you want to opt in, DM me." And then we jump on a call or do the DMs. And I was like, I remember the first person, I was like, "Here's what it is. Here's how much and my coach told me, just say the price and be quiet. Don't say nothing." He's like, "Okay, so it's going to be 5K. That includes this. And which card do you want to use?"
Yeah.
And there was a pause. And then guy's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll use my Amex." And I was like, holy shit, it worked. No, but I was like, dude, they wanted what I wanted. That was the first light bulb of like, it wasn't a scam at all. It was awesome. But I was just thinking to myself like, oh, that's how this works. If you provide value and you have a little bit of a brand and they respect you, they'll trust you and they'll buy from you.
Yeah. That's how I felt when Brian, he was the first guy to buy it. I was like, this idiot.
Yeah. I was like, I'm in.
I'm in.
What do you think about pricing your first offer?
Well, I mean, like I said, that was my first like high ticket offer.
But you weren't selling something for $300.
No, you know what's
I
interesting?
don't think you ever did a low ticket offer
He
to
did.
start.
Well, later on. Well, so I had a course that was 1,000.
Yeah.
So originally, I go to ClickFunnels, and Russell's a buddy of mine now. And then I get all hyped up. I'm like, "Oh, bro, I'm a print money selling courses. This is like sick."
One click upsell.
Bro, I'm like, so I just make the course and it just prints. So, I go film this course. I get like this professional guy and like I script. It's a great course. And I'm like, okay, cool. The landing page is set up. And I'm like, so how do I sell it? It's just like, I had no idea. I didn't even think that far ahead. I was just thinking product. And I think a lot of business owners struggle with that.
Yeah.
They think all product and then they have this amazing product and no one knows about it. So then, literally I just had my Instagram and I'm like, "Hey guys, I just released my new course and all the stuff. Anyone want to buy it?" I sold one unit. Yeah. I sold one course for $1,000 and that was it. And it took me getting on a phone to sell it.
And it was Mindy.
It was not automated. My wife bought it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, screw all this. Like I'm actually making real money flipping houses and all this stuff. And then I did a Black Friday sale like months later. And then I was like, it's 500. And then people bought it on that. You might have bought it.
I bought it then.
Yeah. It was like 500 on Black Friday. And maybe, I don't know, 10 people bought it. I was like, oh, that was kind of nice.
You made a specific incentive to buy now.
Right. I had no marketing incentive. I'm like, this thing's $1,000. It's going to make you millions.
Yeah.
Didn't know that would have been an FTC violation back then. So then, I just realized I was like, selling courses sucks. Even back then, I was like, and I didn't know how to run ads and all that stuff. So then when I made the small group offer, I'm like, all right, people really want coaching. Cause even he had been messaging me. He's like, "Bro, can you coach me? Can you coach me?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to coach people. I want to print money selling courses. I want it autopilot." And sure enough, I was like, you know what? I'll do one day. Like I don't have to commit to one-on-one coaching or a year. Like I'll do one day. And so we did the one day and I loved it. I was like, that was fun. That was great. And then literally made no money again for like months and months. And then the next year I did another one. He went to and a bunch of others. I was like, it's 5K. We're going to go to Big Bear, California.
Yeah, there you go.
Do a retreat, learn. It's going to be sick. And we did. But then eventually somebody told me, they were like, "Hey, you could do like group coaching, right?" I was like, what's that? Like I had never bought a coaching program in that way. Like, bro, you could just show up once a week and coach people on like and charge 10 grand. I was like, what? People buy that? They're like, yeah. I was like, I thought people only bought one-on-one. And, sure enough, I launch it and literally it was the All-Star program. And that is literally, it's changed over the years what it includes, but it still exists to this day, in year 7.
That's cool. But yeah, but it was a group program. The community provides value. You provide value. You bring in people from your network to help that community.
Yep.
So there's a lot of good things, but you have to be that guy or that gal who can do it. And I think a lot of people want to jump to that step. It doesn't happen right away. You know, you should start.
I had flipped hundreds of homes.
Yeah. So you should start, get the results, help people. And then you have to make sure your people are getting results. That was the other point. Like, if you just do it and just to get quick money, I think those days are gone.
Yeah.
You're not going to last. It'll be over quick, because if people are talking about like, dude, that sucked, I didn't get any results, you have no testimonials, it's over. Like you can't continue. There's no, so you have to actually help people, which is the part that the fake coaching I think is going away.
And I tell people that too. They're like, so him and I, we've talked to lawyers about FTC stuff and like testimonials. And if you talk to big guys, like, at a certain point, getting testimonials can be more harmful than helpful. Yes. Just because the FTC sees it as like, oh, this is everyone's outcome. You had like, it's like, yeah, this guy really did make $100,000. And it's like, so everyone in your program makes $100,000. And it's like, no. Well, if you're going to show testimonials, you got to show everyone who lost money, everyone who didn't make anything.
So you almost have to talk shit about it. And I noticed Hormozy and a couple of other people do this. So yes, if you're going to do this compliantly, this isn't legal advice, by the way, anyway. Yeah. You should go check with your people. But I would just tell you if you want to just kind of an easy way to think about this, tell them that they're not going to get the result.
Yeah.
It should be a matter of fact, like, hey, this is what Brian got. Most of you won't get that result. But if you're serious, maybe you will. Yeah. This is the top 10%.
Well, and you just think about it. What's the success rate in entrepreneurship? It's like
it's low.
20%. It's like 10%. Like that's just what it is. And, now I just don't show testimonials at all, even though we've been at this forever. And I just say, if somebody asks, they're like, hey, do you have a testimonial or whatever? I say, honestly, like it's not compliant if I did, and I only showed you the best case results like most people do. So I would say if you're looking at another program and that's all they do, just know they're not compliant, or they understand they're not compliant and they don't care. Yeah. And they're going to just do it anyway. So that's number one. But number two, here's the reality. If you put in the work, you'll have success. If you don't, you won't. And so it's up to you if you're going to put in the work. Like, we'll give you everything you need, but you're going to have to work hard. Yeah. And that's just what it is. And then I always say, and then the third thing would be, we've been doing this a long time now. We've been running this program for going on 7 years. You can't stay in business that long if you're faking it, if people aren't getting results. It's like, there's guys who can make quick money and then they're gone and they vanish and whatever. You can't run the same thing for that long and not have true results.
Yes. Yeah. And the other part that you can do is have people say good things about you behind your back.
Yeah.
So some of these people who are in the program, I've got the most growth organically from people just warm referrals. So yes, you can't publish testimonials without certain compliance things, but somebody could have a conversation with you behind the scenes and be like, hey dude, you heard about Ryan's All-Star? I'm actually been in it for 2 years and crushed. That 1 or 2 lines from one person who's actually in it is gold.
Yep. That's actually something that it's interesting. Now with the M19 for golf, I've had more referrals for that than any other business in my life. Yeah. And it's so new. I'm like, we haven't even done anything compared to like being in business a long time and other things. But like those guys, the average member is doing over $10 million a year. That's the average. And I actually can say that because we have the data to publish it. But in their business, most of those guys are all like referral based. They're all, because they're in different industries of like wealth management and tax and, just like, that's just how old school business has always been done. Whereas I'm like an internet marketer. I'm like, dude, we just run ads and we get all of our people I don't ask anyone to, send me referrals. I don't like worry about affiliates. Like I know a lot of people build their business on it. I just never have. And what was interesting, just even being a part of that now with the golf, is like, okay, we're getting more referrals than ever before. And it's just natural for those guys because that's how they do business and they love it. It's like, man, okay, I should probably like figure out how to do this better.
Yeah, incentivize them.
Else. Yeah, with incentivizing them, make it worthwhile.
Well, you can make an affiliate program.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. In a lot of the platforms, they will give everybody their own unique referral link.
Right.
So people can refer people to you and it's tracked. And there's incentives. Now, some people are going to refer regardless. Like you said,
Right.
they're going to do it because they just love the program and they want to help their friend learn about it.
Yeah.
But you can actually like give them something of value for that.
And we do now too. Like we give them a credit for their next trip.
There you go.
But they refer so much too, I think, because they're like, dude, I'm going to Pebble Beach next month. You got to come with me. And they're like, well, you have to join. So I think a lot of that happens
But
too.
just getting people to talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, post about it, talk about it, share about it. That's probably a great strategy. And you have to be doing good work for people to do that. I'm sure people are posting about the trip at Pebble Beach
all the time.
So then other people in those micro influencers, they see it and like, what's that?
Yep.
I want to learn about that. So that's like your customers are your best marketing.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
100%.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah, if you have a good product.
Yes.
Right. The other thing I think about too is, you mentioned this earlier, is like, okay, do the work first before you ever like make the offer. And I think that's super important. I also would add that your first offer, man, just like, I don't want to say make it cheap, but like underprice it and just get so many sales and like hype and, you know, testimonials and all these things, like, because you just don't know how it's going to go. Like I think back to why I made the mistake originally on the course. I'm like, it's $1,000 and no one bought it and nobody got to see how good it was because it was a great product. And it's like, yeah, in hindsight, I should have started it at 500 or
you could have said, hey, I'm
whatever.
going to sell this thing for $1,000 starting January, and say you're launching it in September in the fall. It's going to be $1,000 next year.
Yep.
But for the first group, you guys are like my founding people.
Yep.
I'm going to sell it to you for $399, $499. And it would be like that positioning would be great, but also you're testing.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what people are willing to pay.
Yeah, and so that reduces your risk for sure. And you could always increase the price later.
That's my point. It's like you never want to start high and then all of a sudden people bought it at the high price and now you're charging way less, right? Like that's not
especially if you don't have any proof of concept yet and it's brand new.
Yeah. So that's my main other advice is like, okay, do it well. And then when you go to market, don't value it at like what it's true. Like, dude, just get people in it. You know, I'll even like, speaking of planting seeds, I tell this story sometimes, but like the whole path of even this golf thing started 5 years ago. I was just like, you know, I think people probably would want to do golf consulting. Like I've never heard of it, but like
you were doing the golf with you for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I was like, I think people would pay to golf with me, and not like egotistically. I was just like, I put myself the way your coach said it to you. If like, if you were the attendee, would you pay for that? And I was like, you know, if a guy like Grant Cardone was like, hey, you could come golf with me for 5 hours, I was like, I would pay a ton. At that time, I was like, I don't know, I'd pay tens of thousands of dollars for that opportunity. I was like, there are people who already pay for real estate and they ask for one-on-one coaching and I don't do it. Like, let's just try it out. And so the original offer was $2,500 for a full round and bring whoever you want, bring a camera crew. You could do whatever you want, ask any question and we'll have a blast and you'll get 5 hours of consulting. I sold 20 with one Instagram story.
Dang.
And it was self-checkout. I didn't even like know about what I know today. And I was like, wow, there's demand.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever created an offer like that. I'm like, this is crazy. So I raised the price. And then eventually 5 years later, this is what it's become. But it was, people think this is like out of nowhere. It's 5 years of testing and learning what these people want in a trip, in a network, in an experience. Like I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
And you were going to golf anyways. So you used to golf every Friday. So then he sold people to come golf with him.
Yeah, that was the original thing too. I was like, I'm going to play every Friday regardless. So whether I play for free, whether I get paid, like I'm going to go play regardless.
Yeah. And you're talking business, which you like doing anyways.
Yeah. And I met the best people ever on the golf course during those years. I was like, dude, I'm like meeting way higher end people than I do at other things I do. Because like in the other stuff I do, we're teaching them how to like make money for the first time.
Yeah.
So by default, you're not making money.
Beginners.
Yeah. And it's fine. I like helping beginners. But then these golf guys, a broke person's not going to go pay to go golf with you. Like there's not really any benefit. So all of a sudden I started to see like all these high-end guys like picking my brain about all the random types of things, social media.
Yeah. And then
all
maybe partnerships could be created.
For sure.
Deal flow, all kinds of cool stuff happens by just putting yourself in the position to work with higher level people.
And you got to just, put the offer out there and just see what people do. That's my point.
Yeah. And I think another thing that would help people as well is to be a consumer of what you're doing. So like, I remember before I sold anything, I was a student of coaching.
Yeah.
I bought it. You know, I learned what I liked, what I didn't like. Then you can talk about that. And like, hey, I've been in coaching and some of it was not good. Some of it was good. I took the best of both and I launched this thing.
Yep.
So you should be a consumer of the thing that you're selling.
For sure. I'll add, that's a good point that you brought up, because I've been a part of other peer-to-peer networking groups like YPO, and there's like EO and, you know, all these different things. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like the quality of people is really high in terms of business, but like, I don't want to just like drink at the bar.
Yeah.
And like, that's all they do. I'd rather hang out with these people and golf. And there's probably other people who feel the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are.
Yeah. So the concept that everyone should think about is there something stale that you could bring new life to, new energy, a new twist on? And like I said, it doesn't have to be something groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It could be just one shift. Even with events, I noticed events are boring. It's hard.
I was going to ask you, what do you think is going to happen now with events and the info space? You're seeing them contract.
Yeah, events are tough, but I think it's the same thing is happening. A lot of events crushed. If you really want to get world-class at events, and I would tell people watching, don't, because you will lose money. You know, it's hard. It's the hardest thing to do. But the only reason I still do it is because my competitors won't do it, or they don't have the expertise of the team to do it. So like I got good at it, so I'm going to keep doing it. But most people, when they do it, they lose a lot of money. They can't fill the room. It's hard.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but we've got a few things that worked, and I'm going to keep rolling it. And mostly it's been community that's helped me. Just building community, and that takes years. That's a brand, that's community, and there's a lot of people who tell their friends about it and come back year after year.
Where do you think, like, so events wise?
But you know, like, look at events. Pace Morby just posted today. He's got a Squad Up Summit. I don't know what this is, but it's full every year.
Yeah.
Thousands of people, and they didn't run a single ad.
Yeah.
He's got a community. It's a community that shows up, that people want in person. It's the thing that AI can't mess with.
Yeah.
But you have to have a community, and you have to do events right. So that's the hard part.
Yeah.
One-off events, very difficult right now.
Super hard.
I would tell you, if you're not doing it on a consistent, you notice, like, you take your foot off the gas, all of a sudden you're back to square one.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped doing WealthCon. It just was not worth the ROI and the time. Like the experience, amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
But from a business standpoint, you're just like, man, this is like a lot.
And I've even talked about like where I'm going to end it. Maybe it's 10. We're at forward 6 now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do it for 10 and I'll reevaluate, because you can't do it forever because it's so taxing.
Yeah. Cardone and I talked about that.
Cardone did 10 years of 10X and then he shut it off.
Yep.
Because it takes months of your team and your bandwidth to put on a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I spent 6 months to do 2 days. Maybe I should do more webinars. Maybe I should do more this. Maybe I should spend more time here.
Yeah.
So at some point, it becomes a trade that you can't do anymore. Maybe you build your team and they could run it for you. But like for me, I'm going to do it probably till forward 10 and then I'll reassess.
Forward X.
Yes.
How did you get Alex Hermosi to speak at your event?
Bro, I have a whole talk on that. It's tough. So you remember he was back in the day, he spoke at your event.
Yep.
That
And then
was way back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day, he spoke at all the events, but then he stopped.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not doing any of this stuff anymore. And I would DM him every year and I would message him. I have all the receipts of like him basically saying, no, I'm not doing events anymore, Neel. I'm not like, and I don't speak on other people's stages anymore. I've had a bad experience. I don't know what happened where he went south on the whole thing. I think somebody associated with him an offer and it turned out to be a scam and he didn't ever want to be involved again. You know, something, I'm guessing that's why. I don't know if that's the truth. So anyways, it just never happened. I know I would ask every year. And then I remember one year it was coming up and I sent him the pitch and stuff. And he's like, dude, no, I'm not doing events. He's like, I respect you asking. And I know you ask every year, but the answer is no. And but this time he at least told me why. He told me that here's the reason why I don't like to be associated. I don't like to be used in the promotion of things that aren't my own companies or my stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I've been burned. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I have been burned by people in the past. And so for all these reasons, if I'm going to spend my time in events, it would be my own. I'm not doing events.
Yeah.
And then hope you can take at least. So he at least gave me the answer. So then I was like, okay, well, how do you solve these bullet points?
I love you.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, objection.
Yeah,
I got this.
So one is like, he doesn't want to be used in promotion. Well, what if nobody knew he was coming? What if the event's already full? I don't need your face on anything. It's already, I'll sign an NDA or whatever. Nobody could know. Until you hit the stage, no one will know. So that was how you solved that one. The next one was like, I don't want to do it. That one's a hard one to solve, you know. But I think it was just trust.
Well, I think also he's in Vegas.
That's
you're
a smoke
in Vegas,
screen.
so
Yeah.
like that's an easy.
You can make it
hey, bro,
easy.
it's in Vegas, man.
Just down the street.
Yeah.
And so it just took some time to like work in there. And I think the thing that ended up working out was we just had mutual friends.
Yeah,
You know, so like one of his friends vouched, and then it was like, dude, okay, I'll do it, but here's the conditions, and then it worked out. And then I had to pay too. You know, you have to pay. Like I know when he was originally doing it on the come up, he would just do things because he was coming up, but then at a certain point, it's very expensive.
How much did you pay?
I don't think I'm allowed to say, bro.
Oh,
I think it was like a part of his thing. He doesn't want to be contacted for speaking. It used to be on his website. It would say $200,000 or something like that.
Wow.
I did not pay that, but they did say on his website, and I think that was mainly to get people to go.
Just say no.
Yeah.
So did you ask him? He said no, and then you handled all the objections,
Yes.
and then he spoke.
Yes.
Damn, that's a big one. That's a big boy move.
But
But it
I
did.
guess,
It wasn't.
like-
No, it wasn't like that quick. But yes, it took months.
that's kind of interesting. Like, what for you do you think was the ROI? Since usually when you pay for speakers, you're getting them as a draw
Yeah.
into the event, right? And
Mhm.
like, you can't use them for promotion or anything
No.
else. And so,
But my
obviously
event's
it's
not
gonna
like
be-
that because our event's full based on the community.
right,
So then, like last year, I tested
it was like
this.
a massive surprise to everyone.
Yeah, I tested this last year. I said, here's the next year's event. How many of you guys enjoyed this year's event? Do you trust that I'm going to bring you the best people? Cool. All right, here's next year's tickets. Buy them now. And I didn't tell them who's speaking because I found that for most events, the speakers aren't the draw anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
We've seen that too at Wealth.
It's
It literally has not mattered.
It's a requirement. They just they need to know Ryan's going to bring the heat. He's going to get his best people on the stage.
Yeah.
But they don't really care who it is.
No.
Other than that, like they're not buying their ticket because Neel Patel's coming. But when they're there, Neel Patel speaks, they love it.
Yeah.
So it's just a requirement, but you don't get any credit for it, unfortunately. Now, if you had bad speakers, that's a bad thing. You would lose, you'd be smoked out
Yeah.
quickly. But yeah, I
But
think
even
that
knowing
was a
that they're
surprise.
coming anyways, like, why do you feel like you ponied up a large investment to do
Well,
it?
because the thing that for me is I know I'm going to be doing this, like I said, 10 years.
Yeah.
So then why would you come
Credibility.
back? Because Neel crushed it.
Yeah.
The team was great. The experience was awesome. So how do you
Do you think
surprise?
now you've maybe set the bar too high?
Yes, for sure. Because they're like, who's your next surprise?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
So
I was
let me
first
tell you-
thinking. I'm like, oh
So
man.
Last year, surprise, Cody Sanchez.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
look up to her. And then this year we got another surprise. I can't say who it is, but we'll have a surprise. So
You can tell me.
yeah, I'll tell you after the show, bro. But again,
Do you already know the person?
no, I'm just reaching out to people.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll have a surprise. It'll be amazing and it'll be locked in. But it'll be that's a surprise and delight moment. People have
guy.
Yeah, I come out.
the
"Oh,
bad
what's up, Reynolds?
but people will literally in the community, they'll be betting. They'll have a making
They're on
odds.
Cal sheet.
Yeah, dude. Who's the surprise at forward this year? But like, it's just another thing to make it more fun. But I'm just trying to make it more exciting, bro. Because if it's just a standard information event, you know how hard that is.
Yep.
It's really
Yeah,
hard to
it's
sell.
hard.
You
Yep.
got to do something out of the box. We have performances, bro.
Yeah.
Like musical performances.
Oh, damn.
I know you brought like worship into the
Yep.
thing. You got a band playing in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to do shit different.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do the same thing, it's over.
I remember when Alex spoke at one of the Future Flipper events, he had the best presentation ever.
Yes.
So he had a book where he was talking about the value of the book.
Yeah.
And he was like, how many of you guys would pay like 10,000 for the book, if I sign my name? How many of you would, pay 100,000 for this book if I put my phone number in it? And then he wrote in the book. And then he was like, how many? And then some people ran up to the stage while he was talking.
Yeah.
Like they literally got out of their seat and ran. And he's like, no. Go back to your seat.
Yeah.
And then he kept talking and then he ended up giving it to someone for free. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But think about this. Like that was 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
I had him speak at 2024. The biggest gains in personal brand and celebrity and all these things happen in the later stages of the growth curve. Just in the last 2 years, 2024, 2026, whatever I did or whatever you guys did is not even possible now with him.
Yeah.
Because he's so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like a hockey stick. It goes up like this. So now his time is worth how much an hour? It's gone up so much. So now you probably couldn't convince him to do anything.
I think those guys now pay $100,000 for 10 people, something like that.
it's a group training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 10-person group training, $100,000 for like a day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
I think
it's like $1 million day.
Wow.
yeah. And he's not even there the whole day.
I know.
His team is
It's his
fulfilling.
team.
And he's there for
so he might have $1 million hour.
He might be there for a certain portion, but that's because his brand is like this.
I went to his workshop and I think he spoke once or twice.
Yes.
Besides that, the other time it was someone else on his team.
But you know what? One thing he did though, when he was at the workshop that I was at, he told the audience like this. He said, this was expensive. I'm sure, you guys pay. And how many of you guys got value? Awesome. Cool. Everyone's cool. But how many of you have been following me for like a few months? And there was like a few hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Raise your hand if you've been following me for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a few more hands that went up. Raise your hand if you've been following me for 2 or more years. And then all the rest of the room went up.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is like people paid a lot of money to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason you paid a lot of money to be here is because you've been watching my stuff for more than 2 years, majority of you.
Yeah.
There's a few anomalies of like someone who just found him last month.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people have been following it and then they get to know you. And that's like what you said. You want to spend time with people, trust. You spent 2 years with the guy. You might stroke a check for $100,000.
Yeah.
Because you're like, dude, this guy's the shit. I rock with what he says. I like his demeanor. I like what he teaches.
Yeah.
I've even tried some of the things that he taught in my business and it worked. So imagine if he gave me that for free, what it's like to pay him $100,000.
He said that during the workshop that I was at. He was like, some of you got, I think we paid like $5,000 or $10,000 at the time. And he said, some of you guys already got the value before you even showed up.
Yes.
Just from my content. And I was like, that's true. Like I already owe him $5,000 like mentally.
He even said
So
that
it
on
was-
his book launch. He was doing the launch and he's like, what he kept putting in new value propositions throughout to keep selling more books. And so one of the value props is like, hey, if you've ever gotten value from my content, buy some books.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next thing. And then he went like, that was one of the pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say, I don't know if I've ever shared this story publicly. So, you mentioned Alex and Cody and everything, and, super grateful. They both spoke at our events for free and, both on the come up, like you said. And, they just both absolutely crushed it. And what's interesting with Alex and his talk that Brian was talking about. So Alex spoke for like an hour, Layla spoke for like an hour, and then we did a thing where I interviewed them both. So they were there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was like a long time. And I'll never forget, I don't know if you remember this, we did our pre-party and we were in Town Square at Blue Martini doing it for all the VIPs, and Alex was there the day before. And they were getting like a froyo.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, bro, you ready to go kill it tomorrow or whatever the case is? He's like, yeah, dude, I'm like, everyone's hyped and I'm gonna be there. So I see him the next day, he's getting ready for the talk, and he's like, yeah, I spent 5 hours this morning changing my entire talk. He goes, I had this talk prepared already and everything else, but last night I talked to a couple of people at the event. They saw me, eating froyo and stuff. And I just felt convicted to change my talk to fit what I was hearing, to cater to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, if you remember, it was like 150 slides.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was
It's deep.
It was deep. And he said that on stage too. He was like, I scrapped everything I had. I wanted to remake it and give you guys what I think this particular room needs.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember sitting there like, man, dude, like he could have came up and given his normal presentation.
It would have
been great.
Yeah.
It'd been great. And he literally took the time, because he cares, to go change everything for an event he's not getting paid at, for no other reason than to just give value. And I was like, okay, that shows me like everything I ever need to know about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that level. He's playing at a different level. And he talks about this a lot, pouring into giving more value than anybody else and doing the things that your competitors are unwilling to do. I would imagine most people would not do that. They would not spend 5 hours.
No, I would. No.
Nobody would. But he did, and that's why he wins.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. Maybe we should end with that. It's like, bro, what are you willing to do? If I sat you down, Brian, right now, with just right now, I'll pick on the ball, dude. 10 people, 10 competitors. You got 10 competitors in your space.
Okay.
All at a round table, no golf.
Okay.
Just 10 table. And what's the
You're
thing
not competing with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ryan's not there. Somebody else is there.
Okay.
What is something you would be that you could do that they would be unwilling to do? Or like that you could do? Hey, what's something that you could do that they are either unwilling or unable to do?
One of them, show receipts.
Okay.
Because a lot of these gurus, they say all these noises, but
they haven't done
there's nothing below the surface. What else would I do? I think spend more one-on-one time. Literally show people like step by step how to do it.
I will add to that too, behind the scenes. So when he was running Wealthy Investor, he would spend legitimately 3-4 hours a day just walking through this building on his AirPod, just talking to students one-on-one.
Dang.
Like literally, he'd just call them up.
Yeah.
Hey, you doing deals? How you doing? What are you up to? You know, and then they'd have some problem. He'd be like, all right, so what we're going to do.
Yeah.
He would learn.
And he was the top. You know, he's not like, we have coaches too, and he's still going like, hey, I want to call each and every person and see what's up.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. And so that's the differentiator. It's like lean into those things. I think that's what people, either they don't have that thing or they should develop that thing. But once you have that, that becomes your unfair advantage.
Yeah.
Like we all have unfair advantages. Business is hard. Content's hard. You need an advantage.
Right.
Like to win in any game, you need to have some kind of thing. You don't have to be the tallest or the best, but you got to have something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's your unfair advantage? And if you don't have it, like, let's develop that first.
What do you think yours is?
Mine's going to be, I would say, I have a way of simplifying things for the average person. So if somebody thinks like something's complicated, I could simplify it down so that they feel like they can do it. I think another thing is, again, same thing, like actually care about the students.
Yeah.
How can I really help people get a result? How do I care like about their experience? Like, why would I spend, the event's already sold out. Like somebody asked me this too. They're like, the event's already sold out. You don't need to add a surprise speaker.
Right.
You add one and you spend a bunch of money and time and all this effort.
I
Why?
just asked you that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, literally. Why would you do that? Like, you don't need to do that. Your offer and everything would have been just fine. People probably would have still given us a high mark.
Yep.
But now it's like put it into another level. And so like those
I want to come to the next level.
Yeah, bro. Like who's gonna be there, bro?
Who
knows?
I'm got to take these Kalshi bets.
Yeah, dude. So, but it's just those are the things. Like I'm willing to do a few things that other people aren't because I actually care. So I just know if I do the things, and then also here's the biggest advantage that all of us have, and you have it right now with your golf thing, and that's why it's your best offer. If you're ever in business or life able to do something where other people would consider it work, but you think it's fun.
Yeah.
You have the most unfair advantage in ever created.
For sure.
Because nobody can mess with you because it's not even work. I mean, it is work, of course. You're doing the work, but it's not like a burden.
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing things that they find to be a burden and you can tell, and that's why you suck.
Yeah.
Like content for me now is fun. It was a burden, but it's fun now. That's why I can do it every day.
Right.
Someone's like, dude, how do you be consistent? Well, like for me, it's just like walking from the car to the door can be content. Like it's not a burden anymore. I actually enjoy it. I love the feedback. I love the helping people. So it's like, dude, find your thing that's actually fun for you. And it may not be fun at first, but once you get that point, you have an unfair advantage.
That's good.
Now it's golf for you.
Yeah.
That's why the offer crushes.
Like, what is my unfair advantage?
But like your energy is different on the golf course.
Yeah.
You want to help people more because you're actually enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's why
my energy's not good sitting at a conference table and just like.
But that's why people love being with you on the golf course. So then they want to be in the program. And then leadership is also that it just comes from the top down. So now all the other people are having a good time.
Yeah.
They're more willing to share with the other members.
How would someone even recognize what their unfair advantage is?
Well, you can ask people just like you did. Hey, dude, what do you think I have that other people don't have? And you'd be like, dude, you know what? You do this one thing better than anybody else. Like, okay, I got something. And if they're like, dude, honestly, you suck. You got nothing.
Bro, you are at the disadvantage.
Yes. So now you got to go develop, bro. But then I would look at your interests. Like I told you, there's a gal in my group. She's struggling. I said, what's your interest? What do you spend time doing in your free time that you think? She's like, AI. I love just being a nerd and learning new AI tools. I'm like, that's your thing. Go hard. Learn it and then teach it. And then she became the AI queen in the group. Like that's it.
Davila, you've been around me forever. What do you think the unfair advantage for me is?
Discipline for sure. Time management for sure. Creativity. I would say those three are like way higher than most people even see.
I don't know if you talk about this anymore, but one of the things I liked about when you would incorporate your personal things, is you kept posting at the time about how you don't work on weekends.
Yeah.
You leave at 5 o'clock and you're with your family.
Yeah.
And I remember all the people in my network were like, dude, I'm crushing. I got to stay here till 12-hour days. If you got to put in the work, you got to put in the work, do what's required. And I was like, well, actually, Ryan's telling something totally different than everybody else.
Yeah.
But that was your thing.
Yeah.
But that's saying productive.
Yeah.
Consistent.
But that's like, hey, my family's the most important thing. I leave at this time.
Yeah.
And I actually get more done than most of you guys out here who are working 12 because I'm disciplined with my time. So that's your thing too. Like, and you didn't know it at the time. You were just talking your truth.
This is what it is.
Yeah. But I didn't hear anybody else say that at the
That's
time.
true.
And you're very creative. Like you come up with stuff all the time. Like the golf thing is like, how many people golf? How many business people are in golf? But why is there literally no golf masterminds?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First one, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would think 2026, how am I going to come up with a unique idea? Well, just in this conversation in the last hour, there's been how many unique ideas? So the bar is low because people don't ever go above and beyond. What's the saying? 80% effort gets you 80% results. 100% effort gets you 1,000% results. Because that last 20%, nobody does.
You know what I'll add to this too, now that we're just speaking all this, and I think for the audience, it'd be important to know. I get my best ideas, and I have lots of them, by just having conversations like this with high-level people and fleshing out, like, what do you think of something like this? You know, why isn't there this? You know, do you think people would actually buy it? Like, you know, you have conversations, but then I also think you have to take a break from consumption and just have silence and stillness and all that. Like the deep work, you talked about it earlier. Like I spend, you know, you said you don't spend enough. I spend at least 2 hours a day in deep work. Because a lot of my deep work is in the morning routine that I talk about. It's like, you know, I'm just spending time with God. I'm working out. No one's around me though. It's just like in silence, and I'm literally just being stimulated by working out, thinking. I'll go golf by myself. And like, I'm spending hours out there just contemplating my problems
but you probably get some good ideas.
No, for sure. Like I don't get good ideas by just sitting here and being like, I need a good idea. I get good ideas by just doing things by myself, but activities, not like
watching TV.
Busy work or checking emails or watching TV.
Well, because I think there's
like physical.
There's something to be said. If you're stuck creatively and you need to come up with ideas, go for a walk.
Yeah.
By yourself, by the way. And don't look at your phone.
Yeah.
Just let your mind think.
Just no music.
Yeah.
Like I have found my best ideas happen when I'm doing that.
So I needed an idea. We have a group activity. I was kicking around 2 ideas of what we're going to do for our mastermind group. And it was coming up. I was stuck. I was like, I can't think of anything. So dude, I went to breakfast by myself. Just by myself, had a cup of coffee and some food and just sat there for an hour. And then like 45 minutes into just that sitting there, not even talking to anybody, no scrolling the phone, the idea came to me. And so I think a lot of people, like, you don't get these creative ideas because you never give yourself time to think.
That's the point.
Well, you got inputs all the time. You're watching stuff. You're consuming all the time. And how's your brain ever going to have a chance? Like, I get my best ideas in the shower. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to think about. You just like, you let it all go. And then like, it's probably a part of your brain you can't access otherwise.
I think you have to be doing something by yourself that's not consumption based.
Yes.
That is enjoying. Mm-hmm. Like some people, I think, like, it's not for me because I don't have any talent of this, but like music or dance, like I know guys who like, they play the guitar and it's just like, that's their stimulation to peacefulness and ideas.
I do that with running.
Yeah, running. Like I'll just
run for 20 minutes and I know at the end of the run, I'll have the whole problem solved or the idea that I do.
And I hate cardio. Like it would do the opposite for me. I'd be like, gosh, why am I doing this? This sucks. But like lifting heavy weights every day, I'm just like, all right. And then I'm sitting there between sets and just thinking, contemplating. So I think find something enjoying by yourself. I remember I would have workout partners, before the last couple of years, they talked my ear off. And I was like, yeah, I don't think we should work out together. And I guess
cut them out.
You're a great guy, but man, you just annoy the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I want to know, I guess, from both of you, like, when was the first time you made $1 million?
I made $1 million in mortgage in 2019.
What about you? When was the first time?
2018.
2018. What helped you guys get from making What helped you guys go from making 6 figures to 7 figures?
Well, for me, it was having more referrals. So scaling the unscalable. So like I was getting business from a small circle of people. I just made that circle bigger.
Yeah.
Through getting more known.
But what did you do personally? Like not like strategy, like what switched you to make more?
Tired of being broke? No, you mean like, oh yeah. So here's the thing. I had a feeling I was capable of doing more. I was meant to do something bigger, but I wasn't doing it. A lot of people have that feeling and they just shove it down, they sleep on it. And I was like, dude, I'm actually going to act on that this time. And that's when I started to like, okay, you know what? I've been putting off a decision for 3 years to hire somebody. I'm going to do it, even though I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And so I think the thing for me was putting myself in a situation I'm not qualified for. I'm uncomfortable, and then seeing if it works. Because like, I think a lot of people overestimate the risk of that. Like, what's the worst case scenario if this doesn't work? Well, you're back to where you were today, which isn't that bad. Like, think about this right now. If your business, my business failed, everything went to zero, bankrupt, broke, everything, what would we do? Well, I have skills, network. Like, you'd probably just start over and do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the risk, like me and you, and maybe even you, Brian, too, like your worst case scenario is most people's current reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, most people's current reality is they have to start from scratch and build a business, or get a job, save some money, and build their net worth.
Yeah.
But that's what we would do if we went broke, bro.
That's literally how I always tell the story. My first house flip, I didn't have much money. So I maxed out my credit cards for 50 grand. And I literally thought, I was like, well, if this works out, I'm going to make a lot of money and this is going to be awesome. If this doesn't work out, I'm back to where I'm at. Like, it's just like, I don't have money now. And now I'm just 50 grand in debt and I'll just go bankrupt and I'm still broke.
That's why I always wonder why people who have that not a lot to risk, they view risk on the highest level. They're like, dude, you got stuff to risk now.
Yeah.
But when you don't have much, there's not much risk. There's nothing to lose. So I think that was the thing. I didn't really have much. I was making decent money, but like, money come in, money goes out.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like I had a bunch of savings.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to scale this up. I'm going to implement what I'm doing and give it a shot. And then, then it worked out.
And how much did you make last year? And then I want to hear from Ryan.
What do you mean in
like
overall?
Education and mortgage.
I think like overall top line is somewhere over 5 million, but then, we have expenses and all those things. But yeah, it's great. Multiple 7 figures.
Okay. So how did you go from 7 figures to multiple 7 figures?
Then it's people making more offers, getting better.
But mentally,
okay. No
personally,
strategy.
like what had to change in you?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, to answer the first question of, that first year I did 7 figures, all that changed was volume. At that time in 2017, it was my last year playing pro baseball. And so when I went into 2018, I literally had 6 extra months that I never had before. And so my volume literally just doubled in work time. Now, I'm not saying everyone here should just double how much they work, but that's just literally what happened for me. But I would say what went from, 7 figures to, well, actually that year was 6 to 2 million. So it got me to multiple 7 figures and, that. But I would say the main thing that's gone from, let's say, 7 figures to 8 figures is focusing on the right task. Because now I can't double my time output like we're talking about. Most people, so that does get you to a certain degree. Yeah. Like, I'm like, bro, just work more. I literally just told one of our sales guys, Michael, that. He goes, how do I make more money? I go, work more.
Yeah.
You don't work as hard as you think you do. Mm-hmm. You could work way harder. You got more responsibilities. You got a family. You got a wife now. Work more. This isn't rocket science, buddy. I told him that. He's like, well, but what can I? You're not me. Okay. You're not the business owner where you optimize. Work more. Mm-hmm. And I think most people's first thing is just put in more volume. The second thing then becomes, okay, now we have to be strategic with our time because we can no longer work more.
You're maxed out.
Yeah, you're maxed out hours wise. And look, everybody's hours could be different. To your point, the guys earlier, they might be 80 hours. You're like, bro, I'm going to max out these 80 hours. I chose to artificially cap at 40. I'm like, whatever I get done in 40s, whatever I get done. Maybe it prevents me from achieving my full capacity of whatever, but I'm good. Like, I'm good with what I got now. I don't care if I never grow again. So, now I ask myself this question every month. I say, what is the best use of my time? And I tell all of our students that too. You have to constantly ask yourself, what is the best use of my time? Because if I do that, I'm never going to be doing repetitive tasks that got me to where I'm at that aren't going to get me to where I want to be. And so even we talked a lot about golf, but I've legitimately said this. I think honestly, the best use of my time right now in this very moment is golfing. Spending time golfing.
This is the story you tell your wife, bro.
I do. So this is just for public. Babe, I have to golf more. This is for our family. No, but like legitimately, I think getting better leads to different opportunities and pro-ams and relationships and Right now, yeah, I'm breaking through to the business world, but if I can break through to the PGA world and the live world and all these things, I'm not saying play on those tours, but you can play in the pro-ams and these other things. If I break through that tour, bro, it's a wrap. We will take over everything at that point. So, but how do you do that? You get better at golf. And it's not even just getting better at golf. When you're better at golf, you get around a higher network of golf people. You start getting invited by the pros and the top coaches and these people. But if you're a hack, you ain't getting invited, right? So when I say that, I've thought through like, okay, what do the opportunities lead if I just focus on this and that and, whatever, right? So, but 6 months ago, that was not the highest and best use of my time. The highest and best use of my time was literally doing workshops, webinars, making content. This podcast, honestly, is probably not like a great use of my time financially. Like at this point, knowing that is a better use, but it's fun.
And you want to show up consistently, spend time with people on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's
I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it. That's why I brought him on. I almost was like at the point where I've done it for 5-6 years now, solo. And like, dude, I was like, I'm not doing any more solo videos. I hate them. I'm like, I just am done doing it. I'm not chasing scripts. I don't want to do anything. I want to just sit here and chat, no prep, and rip. And then I'll have a guest who can, or I'll have a co-host who can be a different opinion than me. And then we'll just have sick guest and like, I'll have complete enjoyment doing that. Right. But I was burnt out of my old way.
Yeah. And then you change it up.
Yep.
To innovate.
What about you?
So then I think the difference would be the way of thinking. For me, it's kind of like risk tolerance. What are you willing to go for? So, you get a tolerance for like going for it at this level. But then I just kind of raised up the bar a little bit more.
So you started taking more risk to go from
that's
7 figures
necessary.
to
yes.
So
correct.
What are you willing to risk? And then again, it's the same concept in your head, back of your head, being like, if this all went to crap, I'd be just fine anyways. That's and that is a more risky thing than I guess some people would want to say.
Yeah.
But for me, that's how you break through. Yeah. I think you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I remember putting on our first big event and I was like in the whole $500,000.
Wow.
And we had sold 100 tickets and there was
100 tickets?
I had sold 100 tickets. I thought if I got Gary Vee and all these people that all the tickets would go, and I sold 100 tickets and there were 700.
Is that when I reached out to you?
It might have been, yeah. I mean, I was like, dude, how am I going to fill out the rest of this event?
Yeah.
And then Ryan's like, dude, you need to do this flow on ManyChat, and I ended up doing that with the DMs. So that helped that was huge. But then the other part was I just literally started messaging people one-to-one.
Putting them up.
No more one-to-many. I went one-to-one, and I had to fill that thing brute force. But the only reason I filled it was because my balls were on the line, bro.
Yeah.
Dang.
I was trying to find another way of saying that, but there is no other way of saying that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
They were either chopped.
yes.
You were
You think
ballless.
I'm gonna go to
all in.
I'm gonna go to my wife.
I like that.
I'm gonna go to my wife and be like, hey, we just lost our savings.
Ooh.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have nuts anymore.
Yeah. So the choice was either be castrated or figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
And I think anybody would be shocked. You'll be not shocked, but you'll probably be surprised at what you will do when your ass is on the line. Like you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna go for it. You're gonna work harder. You're gonna put in the hours. You're gonna make the calls that you've been putting off. You're gonna call. You're just gonna do the work because failure is not an option at that point. So I put myself in a few of those situations, and then that's what kind of catapulted to the next level.
And that's literally what I was saying about my sales guy. I'm like, bro, okay, your back's against the wall because you have way more responsibility now, being recently married and a kid. I'm like, work more. That's the solution to this problem. Brute force.
Brute force, yes. And then I guess the other big thing for me was this concept of how I view money. Okay, this is the logic thing. If it makes you money, it costs you nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So I spent $100,000 in 2022, 2023, somewhere in there, on my business coach. And this guy taught me all the digital marketing. He helped me go. It was an annual agreement. 1 year of coaching for 100. And I remember when I was supposed to send the wire, I was like, you know what? I could buy like a condo in Vegas for that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
on a rental.
Yeah.
Dude,
$900 a month.
Dude, I did it. I almost was not going to send the money.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It's going to work. And I trusted the guy. He helped me. And it turned into millions of dollars, bro, over years. Wow. That $100,000 helped me. Yeah. And it worked, dude. The guy helped me.
Super.
Bro, he taught me everything, like marketing wise. You know Billie Jean?
No.
Yeah.
Billie Jean taught me so much. Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Actually.
That was my business
Is he
coach.
still around?
Yeah, dude, he's crushing it. He teaches AI. But he's off the internet. He doesn't do content anymore because he doesn't have to.
Wow.
But he's a more private.
Yeah.
Bro, he lives on the beach in La Jolla.
Really?
He lives his dream life because he did the work for a decade.
Yeah.
But he always tells me,
stuff.
design your life, then do the business.
Have you had
What
him on
is
the
your goal?
podcast?
No, we've talked before though.
Yeah.
Can you help get him on this podcast?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if he's doing content, but if he's,
But that's still be cool.
would want to do it.
We've talked. I'll text him.
Yeah, he would do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my coach back then. We're still friends now, but he definitely helped me a lot. But that was a big mind shift of like, oh, you're gonna invest in somebody else to help you. Like most people wouldn't take that risk.
You paid $100,000 at once?
Yes.
Damn,
For the
that
year.
takes balls, bro. Neel, you got balls, bro. That's a big.
But I would
No payment plan?
No, I
Did you
don't.
try to negotiate a payment plan and he said no, or what?
No, he just said, "Hey, I don't do one-on-ones." And by this time, he was the go in the industry. He was like, "Hey, I don't do one-on-one. I'm going to take on 1 or 2 people.
Mhm.
Let me know if you're interested, and I'm going to delete this post." And he's got a couple people in, and he deleted the post. And then I was like, "Hey, dude, I'll do it, but I want to. Here's the negotiation. By the way, here's a tip for anybody: if you're ever trying to negotiate things,
Yeah.
don't ask for a discount. Just include more value.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you're selling me something for 50 grand or 100 grand, it would be insulting for me to be like, you know what, I'll give you 70.
Yeah. No.
But if I was like, hey, I'll pay you the 100, but I also need this. So what I did was I said, I'll pay you the 100, but I also need you to speak at my event.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he's like, okay. And we figured it out and worked it out. But like, so I got a speaker, plus I got a year of coaching, and then what he taught me over the year was huge. Like, and then dude, it's just relationships. Hey, I need to get in touch with this person. You're in
Yeah, I'll
my
hook you
text. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Or also was like, hey, I didn't even know what funnels were.
Yeah.
His team taught us how to make funnels, running ads on Facebook, like all the stuff that I didn't know.
Last question for me, because I can keep going.
Yeah.
What do you think is what is it gonna take from you guys to reach the next level? Rather that be 10 million or like 100 million?
Oh shit. So here's the thing. I think everybody should define what's their idea of success,
Mhm.
because I saw a guy at Hermosi's workshop when I was in the workshop, the same one I think you went to, and everyone's like, dude, I'm going to build my business to scale. And he talks a lot about key man risk. You should exit yourself. If you're the key man,
Yeah.
you have personal brand, you can't sell that business. And I'm like, well, what if you don't want to sell your business? What if you're just making good money?
Yeah.
So some guy was like running a business, and I don't remember what exactly the line of work is, but he's like, hey, dude, I'm running this business. I want to sell it in 3 years. And I think here's what I could sell it for, $20 million. And he's making like $3-4 million right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I have to do all these things and go through all this pain in order to be in a position to sell it for potentially 20
Yeah.
million. And so I'll give him an answer. He was like, bro, that's a path for sure. But what if you just made good money and then put your money into things, dude,
Yeah.
had a good life?
Yeah.
Like, dude, not everybody needs to make $100 million, $50
Yeah.
million. So here's what I noticed. And you tell me this, your opinion on this. When you got to a few $1,000,000 and you could buy stuff, for me, the novelty or the high I would get from buying something just went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I buy a car. I don't even like you drive it home and you're like, the excitement's over. You get a watch. Who
Yeah.
cares? So
Yeah.
I just think like stuff isn't the motivator. But what is your definition of success? Maybe you want 10 million, you want 20. What's your number? And then you could optimize around that. But don't say you'll have to make $100 million.
Yeah, but okay, let me rephrase it. For you,
Yeah.
to reach your next level,
Yeah.
what do you need to do?
I would need more people.
You think
So
it's
I think at a certain point, like I'm maxed out on time.
Yeah.
I would need more partners, more.
You got to get better at hiring.
Yes, I'm not good at hiring,
So
and I'm trying to get better at hiring now. So
That's
my
the thing.
next
He has to
level
get
is
better at personal
my next level is people.
Yeah.
So you got to become a better leader, pretty much.
Yes, so that's what I've been working on for the past year or so. Is like how to be a better leader, and how do I attract talented people. And I think it's easier when you have a brand.
For sure.
You can get better people.
For sure.
So
What about you?
Well, I agree with what Neil's saying with just knowing what the end game is, right? Because it's like, do you even want to get to 100 million or 10 million or whatever? Like, it's clear. Like, don't worry about what else somebody else did. Like, just figure out whatever you want to do. Because like even for me, I said this earlier. I was like, if I was to never get any better and this was just what I do, like I already literally do everything I want to do. Like even if I sold a company right now for $50 million, I would not do anything different than what I currently do.
Yeah.
I would not dress any differently. I would not drive a different car. I have like everything I want. And I have the schedule I want. I get to go golf. Like nothing would change in my life at all. In fact, I went through like a downgrade curve. Like I had nothing. Like I was very frugal. Then I started buying Louis Vuitton and Rolexes and Pateks. And now I'm back. Like I have a Cole Haans again. And I'm back to Toomey. And like I've gone back to where I was. And I'm like, I actually like this better.
Yeah.
All that to say, if I had to improve, and I was like, okay, how do you get to the next level? We talked about this with Cardone because you asked it to Cardone too. It's not going to come from real estate. It's going to come from selling a business. I mean, that's the only way for me anyways.
Or investing.
It's too slow for me. Like I'm thinking of it like today, right now, how would you get to 100 million? Like sure, over 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
There's lots of paths, but I'm like, okay, quickest, simplest path. Get M19 to doing 30 million a year in revenue and netting 10 million a year plus. Maybe you get a 10x on EBITDA if I remove myself pretty good and you're at 100. Like
Bro,
that's just
I would have a question for you on this, and this is kind of off the subject, but like somebody told me that the way to get to that next level would be to sell money, raise money, do a fund. And you did a fund for a while.
Yep.
Why did you stop doing that? Or is that something you would consider doing in the future? Because that's something I thought of, like when you do have brand, you have trust.
Yeah.
If you can raise money from that audience to go buy investments, that's money.
Cardone and I talked about this on the episode. The fund doesn't make you what people think they do.
Oh, I thought that's what made him a billionaire.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's 10x health. It's all the education.
Okay. Yeah.
The fund is a tax write-off for him, raising capital to depreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, no, that's not even close to why he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And after doing the fund for a long time, I'm like, bro, I would rather just, instead of spending so much time to try and raise money, just go sell products.
Yeah.
Like it's way easier to spend my time selling products than raising money. And then, you know, now you've got investors that you've got to service for the next 5 to 10 years, how long this investment's going to be, and do a great job. And obviously, like I've been raising money for over a decade for my house flips and we've done great, but like it's a lot of responsibility versus, you know, when you sell products and services and other things, once you fill the service, hey, it's filled. We're good. We can keep doing it as long as you want. And, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's funny because in M19, we actually have lots of guys who've exited. We were in, we're going to go to Pebble Beach, and one guy just texted Tiffany. He's like, oh no, I'm just going to take my jet there. So don't worry about it. And I'm just like, that's the level like that these guys are playing at. The other,
Justin Brock. Remember that guy?
Yep. He's
Same
great.
He built his insurance agency to sold it to private equity for like $40-50 million, whatever.
No. So I told him this because he actually paid me for one-on-one. And I was like, why are you paying me for one-on-one? You're like,
he's worth $40 million. Yeah.
No, he's worth 100 plus.
Oh shit.
He misrepresents it negatively of what actually happened. He goes, yeah, you know, I sold it for 70 million. I'm like, oh, so you got like 35, you know, because he sold half. He's like, no, I got 70. I still own 50. I'm like, so you had 140 million valuation. He's like, well, yeah, I don't usually say it that way, but yeah. I'm like, dude, people think it was 70 and you got 30, but you got 70 and you still own 50 and it's worth more now.
Dang.
Wow.
So anyways, I was like, we got to brand that better. But nonetheless, I was like, I was golfing at our last trip at Pinehurst, and it's on the YouTube video, but one of the founders of Kinder's, the seasoning and sauce, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but they're like the #1 seasoning company in the world. And they're going to cross $1 billion in sales this year. And I'm just talking to him about it. I'm like, so why are you in M19? Like,
why are you golfing with me right now?
Why did you pay me to golf? Like, and he's just loving it. And
it's entertainment.
We're talking about it and all the people, and he's just like a fan of everything.
Because he's probably his 2 favorite things in life, besides his
business
family.
and golf.
Business and golf.
So, for sure. And so like, I'm talking to him just about exits and stuff. Cause I'm like, okay, you guys, you know, I can't say everything, you know, on this podcast, but I'm like, you know, clearly talking about an exit has been something you guys probably have talked about, and you guys are worth a lot. So what's the plan? He goes, you know, to be honest, like it could go both ways. He's like, and because he was asking me, he's like, what are you going to do with M19? Like, I just love this concept. This is awesome. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I could keep it forever because like I would golf forever and just enjoy it as an enjoyable business that makes money. Or I don't know, maybe you try to build it to sell and remove key man risk and all this stuff. He goes, I would never sell this business if I were you. What are you going to do? If you can go make $10 million a year, let's just say in this example, that's what you raise it to. Why would you not just keep that asset the rest of your life?
The cash flow is worth more than the sale.
Because then you pay taxes on the sale too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had another M19 guy, same position. His company's worth 9 figures. He's in wealth management. And we were golfing literally 2 weeks ago. And I go, so why not sell it? You know, you built this thing. It's worth a lot. He's like, we get offers every day to buy it. I go, why won't you sell it? He goes, because if I sell it, I'm going to have all this capital and I'm going to have to reinvest it. And you know what I would buy? A wealth management firm.
Yeah.
He's like, I know it better than anything. It is a sick business. The residuals forever. You know, I got $1 billion under management. Plus, I would rebuy my business if I sold it. And it really got me thinking because like, I think the internet and the real world are so different.
Yeah.
Because the more I meet these real world business owners, many of them don't want to sell. And they're making a ton and their businesses are valued at a lot. But then you see the internet, and I get it because having a $50 million exit,
yeah.
100, like it gives you online credibility.
Mm-hmm.
These guys don't give a crap because they're not online.
Yeah.
Like it would be far more, I guess, it would give me more credibility if I had a $100 million exit versus making 10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Even though making 10 million a year would be like, I don't know, more fulfilling, let's just say. So I don't know. It's just like this thing as I start to talk to these actual wealthy guys, not internet guys, and in like these industries that have been around a really long time. I'm like, okay, it is interesting to see their perspective on, they've been doing this business for 20 plus years and they still haven't sold.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's why they're at the level they're at because they haven't sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they got more money than they know what to do with.
Yeah. And at this point, they've already made enough. So a sale's not going to materially change their life at all.
Yeah.
So at that point, you don't need the money. You're just going to invest it into something, which is going to be businesses or real estate or stocks or whatever. It's like, but your life doesn't change at all.
Mm.
Like I don't know. So that's why you have to decide, like, what is it you really want?
Yeah.
But dude, we could go all day. Where can people get with you, man? Next event?
Yeah, just
your coaching.
So just hit me up on IG, Neel Home. And then we have a huge event every summer, July, forwardevent.com. You can check it out. It's going to be next level.
There's going to be a guest.
And there's going to be a guest. You don't know who it is.
I'm a guess.
You could bet on it on Kalshi, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to, it's going to be Gary V.
Tony Robbins. I'm a guess Tony Robbins.
Your guess is Tony Robbins?
Right.
Okay.
Put that in the chat.
Okay, so Brian's got Tony.
By the way, yeah, put in the chat. Who do you think is going to be the guest? And
can you at least give us a list of potential, like what it could be?
I would tell you it's a female.
Oh, it's a female.
Ooh,
Okay.
So I'm off.
So you're done.
You lost.
I should have even said that. That limits it quite a bit.
Yeah, there's not as many females. Okay, so there's Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah,
there's Cody. It's not going to be Cody again. She just did Cody.
It's rather Layla or Barbara.
It could be Layla. It could be what's the other Shark Tank girl? Lori.
Oh, yeah, she's good. Mel Robbins. You know, there's a lot of There's a lot of good women out there.
Yeah.
You know what? Jesse Itzler's wife. She'd be a great one.
Sarah Blakely.
She's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the crazy part. You talk to guys who are billionaires.
Watch now. It's going to be a guy.
Yeah.
I threw you off.
I thought you guys, it was a red herring.
But yeah, hit me up. Hopefully you'll see it at an event, but message me on IG. That's the easiest way. I check all my DMs.
Go Neel Home on IG. Well, Neel, I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching the last episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you catch the next episode that's playing right now.